If we look at a Tyrannosaurus foot, this is the foot from a nearly complete or a nearly full-size Tyrannosaurus. It's a right foot. So they have 4 toes. The first toe, what for us, sticks out at the back a little. So it's almost like the dew claw that you get on a cat or a dog, and then 3 walking toes. And these are the metatarsals, the bane of the footballer. We're forever hearing about broken metatarsals. So we walk on the flats of our feet. We have both our toes on the ground and we have our metatarsals on the ground. We walk across the whole foot. The dinosaurs, and indeed the birds and many other animals, just walk on the toes. So they've elevated the foot, and they have the metatarsals, or in case of my hand, metacarpals, suspended, if you like, upright. And this actually already automatically kind of extends the length of the leg. It gives you a longer leg to run on. So this is actually going to speed you up, because it means you're taking longer steps for every pace. But if we look to the middle, what you'd see on most dinosaurs, in fact, the vast majority of them, in particular the carnivores, is the 3 metatarsals for the 3 running toes would all look like this. They'd be lovely, long, big blocks, nice vertical strips. But we see here, this middle one kind of vanishes, and it's being crushed between the other 2, and it looks like it's kind of disappeared and like it's going to come out the back. But actually it doesn't. It really is being crushed. This totally changes how the foot moves. If you can imagine you want to be a long-distance runner, every time you hit the ground, every time you take a step, your bones are all slightly moving. And that represents lost energy. Because if they don't, what you actually tend to do is start compressing some of your ligaments and some of your joints, and as you step off again, that springs back and you get a little bit of energy back. So what you really want to do is to minimize all of the movement. You want to have everything as firmly and tightly together as possible, because every little bit of movement is just wasted energy. And if you do this with a lovely big wavy bone up the middle, with 2 bones locking it in either side, you're effectively holding the whole foot together. And when we're talking about an animal that might be 6 or so tons, every single footstep can potentially lose a lot of energy with the bones just seesawing either side of each other and you having to hold them together. If you lock them up into a single block, that doesn't happen. Some of that energy will then go into your joints and you'll get it back on the next step. And so this is an adaptation that we see in 3 or 4 groups of dinosaurs, and they're all long-distance runners. They were all very efficient over long distances. They usually have very long legs, a light build, they have a relatively short thigh bone, which allows them to move the legs repeatedly, and that makes them both quick and efficient over long distances. So despite the fact that a full-size Tyrannosaurus was clearly a very bulky animal, they were also pretty fast. The speed estimates are really difficult for an animal that's been dead for 65 million years, for which we have no muscles. But, bearing all of that in mind, something like a full-size Tyrannosaurus was probably reaching speeds comparable to an Olympic sprinter. Only the difference is, this is an animal which isn't specialized for sprinting, it's specialized for long-distance running. So it's holding that speed, probably for quite a considerable period of time. You could not outrun this animal.
The nest of the Asian giant hornet, Vespa mandarinia, is a highly organized structure made from a paper-like material created by chewing wood fibers mixed with saliva. Typically found in tree hollows, underground cavities, or protected above-ground locations, these nests feature horizontal combs of hexagonal cells used for rearing the colony. The queen, responsible for reproduction, lays eggs in these cells, which develop into larvae and pupae before emerging as adult hornets. The nest houses various members, including the queen, sterile female workers who maintain the nest and forage, and male drones present during the mating season. It also contains remnants of prey, as the workers feed the larvae a protein-rich diet, and waste, which is typically removed by the colony.
We just hit an iceberg! We just hit an iceberg!